Oh, Forspoken consultant black girl gamers appear to discriminate in their hiring practices while claiming they are being harassed. So I thought I saw something on this when we talked about them last time, but I couldn't remember who it was. Or maybe I just happened to have hit the note or the nail on the head with that. But anyway, back February 19th, the organization appears to post a job opportunity on Twitter X, limiting the applications based on race and gender. The organization wrote on looking for black women content creators to make Dungeons and Dragons content for potential brand work. Hit us up. Ironically, little less than a month later, the organization claimed it was being harassed while not providing any evidence. It posted on X the amount of harassment we received due to Gamergate 2 is not surprising. Gamers that thought the industry revolved around them and their comforts are now realizing it doesn't. We've had emails, comments, and threads, but you know what? We're not going anywhere, the post concluded.
Real quick, what's the industry called? The gaming industry, right?
Correct.
So it goes to logically, we would connect gamers. Gamers must be the focus of the gaming industry. Otherwise, it would not be called the gaming industry.
Not according to these devs, because these devs are chasing the what is it, the mythical modern audience that just doesn't exist. Um,
Oh,
let's see.
well, there's indie devs.
Let's
I will make an indie dev a AAA studio before I will go to these AAA studio dumbasses.
I guess Suicide Squad recently did something.
Okay, well, we'll look at that.
No, because I'm going to do this once again. Remember, when you make things for the mythical modern audience,
Oh,
see example A right here. Why that doesn't work. A dead game that was dead pretty shortly after launch and hasn't had anything. Now, they must have recently did something because out of nowhere, they got a 24-hour peak like just the other day.
I would
It
call
looks
that
like.
a bump because if you look at from where they
Well, I
were,
mean, from the 500 that they have essentially been consistently getting across the board for, weeks,
yeah,
they got a bump to 2,000. Little over 2,000. I mean, granted, it
good
looks
for
like it's
them, I
going
guess.
down, so whatever they did was maybe they added some content or something. But this is your mythical modern audience that you're looking for. They're about 800 strong. Woo. Congratulations, guys. You did it. You've done it. It's great. Anyway, back to Black Girl Gamers. Originally, when we went through what we had available for them, I came to the conclusion that they seem to be in the right place. Because unlike something like Sweet Baby Inc., who wants to completely change everything, they will take a character and completely swap it, race swap it, gender swap it, all this other stuff, and insert cringe work dialogue. These guys want to make new things, which is why they worked on Forspoken, which was a new IP. Now, did they fail in that one? Absolutely. But they're also woke, which means they're going to do woke shit like this. But anyway,
I mean, credit where it's due. At least they didn't take existing IPs and ruin them. They just ruined
yeah,
their new IP.
exactly. Now, the only way to get better at that is to do more, of course. And they do have other projects that are lined up that they did say they were working on, right? And all of those are new IPs, it looks like.
I have no problem with that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And granted, they are the topic of discussion due to Forspoken. The problem is, what I think really put them on the map is the fact that they opened their mouth because they're woke. If they had just left it to somebody made a black girl gamer detector for the one fucking game they worked on, which I think was dumb to begin with, uh, you know, um, if they hadn't have said really anything, it would have just been, people talking about bad mouthing Forspoken, which, they made where they talked about in their interview and stuff prior where they were wanting to get away from harmful stereotypes. And then they essentially helped write a character who fell in line with harmful stereotypes that they
Yep.
would shouldn't that they're supposed to be walking around. But what do I know? I'm just some white guy on the internet, right? So it's not like I would have ever thought of, hey, instead of making Frey fatherless, abandon, and devolve into a life of criminality and stuff like that, why don't we step away from the stereotype and we give her a father who was there, who works himself to the bone or something, right?
I
He's
did
a hard
not.
worker.
I did not follow Forspoken, and I am still kind of processing what you just told me. Holy shit, that's
Yeah,
racist.
yeah, I know. Seriously, what they should have done with their consulting is gave Frey a father. Father is a hard worker. And then we pulled the reverse damsel in distress trope, right? Where father gets in trouble and Frey has to then go after and then finds that this whole magical thing is a thing of her life that she didn't know existed. And the reason why she didn't know it existed is because maybe her mother had to do a thing. And in order to shield her, it was like, don't tell her. This is the only way to protect you guys. But then they found about the father. They went, they got the father, and Frey has to get the father back.
That would be
And
great
that
storytelling.
would have obliterated the stereotypes. It probably would have been a better story overall.
And it
And
also
you can
would,
still have your sassy black woman.
yeah. And could you imagine the connection you could develop between like, her trying to save her dad and like, yeah, that there could be a lot. Like seriously, I could imagine like her going to try and rescue her dad and then just out of nowhere, like right, just about to rescue her father, and then the father getting teleported through a portal or something. Then she learns some sort of new magic to counteract that or something. Like yeah, they could do so much with what Zio just said and all that. Like yeah, like there's a lot, and honestly, maybe they'll learn.
Maybe they'll learn. I mean, that's the hope, right? Whether or
Yeah.
not they do is a different story. But anyway, if they hadn't inserted themselves into things with, because the first thing I really heard from them was when they're like, OMG, somebody made a black girl gamer, whatever. And it's just like, if you hadn't said anything, nobody would even noticed.
Not just that, but the
I
first thing
mean,
I
other than talking about how bad Forspoken was and occasionally dropping your name and the company of Sweet Baby Inc. and things like Black Girls Gamer or consulting things and stuff, you probably wouldn't even have to worry about it too much.
also like the first thing I heard about them was that they might be in trouble for illegal business practice due to hiring practices.
Oh yeah, I mean, and then
But
that's their own.
that what, that's their problem. I don't really care too much. Like if that's a problem that they have, then that's they'll have to deal with it. Whatever, I don't care. Um, I'm not trying to get a job with them, but like if somebody did try to get a job with them and they turned them down, and it's because they're white or they're a man, well,
Which leads into another thing because they did say something that, hey guys, we're not doing that because we hired a couple of white people for something at some point later after. And it's just like, I remember when people said, I can't be racist because my friend is black. They said that doesn't count. But okay, it works for you guys because you're woke. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, their website details just how involved the company was with Forspoken. Black Girls Gamer was hired as consulting or to consult Forspoken to provide insight on narrative and feedback on a pre-release build of the game that spanned from the gameplay experience to the portrayal of Frey as a female protagonist of Black dissenting, including topics such as colorism and texturism.
Texturism.
I actually don't even know what the fuck that word is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Colorism, I
Texturism is the discrimination faced by individuals with kinkier, tighter curled hair textures. I'm sorry, what?
Oddly specific.
That is definitely a made up term from the Wokies. Anyway, researchers suggest that employees with hair textures that have a proximity to white and Eurocentric hair are shown preference over those with Afro texture hair that is coarse and more tightly kept. What? There are people who just. Oh, that's a new term. Anyway, I didn't even know such a thing existed. Right.
Okay,
Anyway,
so here's the thing. They're basing it on, I know what this is because having to get a new job every year for 10 years, you kind of get to know this kind of crap. The what they're talking about is like the tight curls and the
yeah,
a lot
like
of honestly hairstyles that don't look that good in my opinion on anybody. But if that's your style, that's your style. But the problem is, it's not just the style, but they're going to pin it on that style because of victimhood mentality. Oh,
okay.
it's because of my race, it's because of my hairstyle, it's because of anything other than my bad attitude and my lack of work ethic.
Yeah, I can see that. But like I can understand if somebody walks in with a multicolored mohawk and you're hiring for somebody to work the front desk or something, and you don't really want that to be the face of your company.
Bingo.
Like I get that. But the definition here and like the picture that seems to be associated over here off to the side, just I don't understand why this would be even like, so what anyway.
That's
But
not
yeah,
bad at all.
I mean no, it's not. I don't understand it, but apparently that's a thing, so I
Okay.
learned something new today. uh
I actually work with a lot of people, like a lot of people where I work have that hairstyle. That's not a thing.
Anyway, this was an important consulting given that Frey is one of the first female protagonists of Black descent in a fantasy game genre. You know what? I'm not even going to fact check that and just assume that is true because they made it very specific. Anyway, Square Enix president and representative director Yusuke, Masada, admitted the game
Yusuke.
sales were not good during the company's financial results back in February 2023. Let's click that, see what that says real quick. Oh gosh, no, I'm not going to skim through that. Sorry. Anyway, I kind of was hoping it would take me straight to it, but
Nope.
anyway, he said reviews of Forspoken, which were released January 24th, 2023, has been challenging. However, the game has also received positive feedback on its action feature, including the parkour and combat capabilities. Yeah, that is actually what people really did like about it.
Yeah, I've seen
Was
some of it. It looks really good in that regard.
Yeah.
Just the dialogue was not there.
But yeah, that's usually what good things people have to say about it is like, the movement and the combat and stuff is pretty tight. So it has yielded results that will lead to improve of our development capabilities on games in the future. Next, he discussed the game sales that said its sales have been lackluster. And while the performance of new titles with February and March release dates will ultimately determine the dates will be the ultimate determination, we see considerable downside risks to our FY 2023 third endings. The sales for the game were so bad, Square announced that the game developers Luminous, the game, Luminous was shuttered because of this.
Yeah.
It was closed. That sucks. It wrote, "You may have heard the news on this production's merger with Squeenix, blah, blah, blah." We already know about that. Anyway, Black Girl Gamers, the organization, shared what it offers via consultation. Black Girl Gamers uniquely placed in the gaming industry, instructing our team's community, blah, blah, blah. Company is run by blah, blah, blah. Don't care. In the same interview, she admitted she would alter games while also expressing how she annoyed at white characters. Wait a second, we read that interview. She never once said that. She said she wouldn't alter games. Did we misread that?
Did we? Click on it.
No, this is a different article on it, I think.
Okay. Exit off. Let's find that again, real quick.
Let's see. Well, I'm wondering if they're bringing up something else. Just fan fiction at this point. The group's still been taken down, by the way. If not for the conspiracies, then definitely Nazis. They're doing Okay.
That's the Sweet Baby Inc., I think. Person.
No, that's
or is that Kotaku?
Chris Kindred is let's see. Yeah, that's not this person here. She had a lot of content work with brands bigger scales, so a lot of them have gone out to their networks, and we're taught them essentially the way we work is through events consultation. And we also have a niche agency internally to help broker black women.
Yeah, we went same interview. Okay, we gotta watch that again because
it should be in
J.Ann Lopez via BuzzFeed UK YouTube.
Let's see. Go to the salt mines.
Okay.
And should be last week's stuff. Okay. Here's the interview.
Yeah, I got it. You gotta go through.
Let's figure out where this was. Should admit it. This isn't a quote either. Or any video games that made you wish that their character was also a woman, color, and black. I would flip the whole premise of a number of games, especially the ones that go into countries and get their relics. I would flip that on its head. That's always been a dream of mine in general, but to be honest, no, I'm not. This is it here. Never mind. If we read just a little bit longer, they're doing the whole, here's the context I want you to read from this, and now here's the quote.
Yeah.
Where she says, straight up, but to be honest, no, I'm not averse to having white characters. I'm just annoyed by how prevalent they are. And then somewhere else down there, she talks about how she wouldn't want to change a current character from one to the other.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
There it is. There it is. Further down the article, I wouldn't want to change an existing character that I can think of at the moment. One of my favorite games, The Witcher 3, is predominantly based on a Polish novel. Like, this is where I said their heart is in the right place, but they're still woke.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I think
That,
that they could make some interesting games on African mythology and African history,
yeah,
like
because we got to
straight
that
up.
point where they were talking about wanting to open up a branch of theirs or whatever in West Africa. And I was like, yeah, and you should do an indie studio too.
Yeah, absolutely. Just you got to realize though, like, you know,
Yeah, this is clearly here's the context I want you to read from the next few lines. That's what that is. I hate it when they do things like that.
yeah, that was bullshit. That
That
was
was complete bullshit.
that
So
was
like
that
we
was
read through
that
that
was
entire
who,
article
who the
practically
fuck wrote this, by the way?
live
Scroll up. I want to know, or down, whichever way. Who the hell wrote this shitty article?
all the way up
Okay, it's
by
at the bottom.
John F. Trent. John F. Trent, you're poisoning the well in your article. I hate you for it.
All
Just so
right,
you know, there was no reason for that.
there was not.
You could have been just straight up honest that, and yeah, anyway. Because they do, because she goes on to explain things like this, and it's like, The Witcher 3 is a Polish novel, and there's be no need for me to change the main character because you know what? They're smart enough to understand the nuance of Polish novel, Polish guy.
Yeah,
It
no,
would be very odd to swap that.
I'm going to be honest with you.
And then ends it with, I want some original content. Like, guys, don't make me defend people I really don't want to defend. I hate it when you guys make me do that.
Yeah, because here's the thing, Sweet Baby Inc. They later on your when Zia watches what I linked him to, he's gonna be like, maybe not. But uh overall, if this is what their goal is, we have the same goals: original content, new
Yeah.
IPs.
Which, of course, people seem to fail to forget that because I can't remember what it was I commented on earlier or yesterday or what it was where somebody was going on about how you should be fighting the big guys at the top because they're the ones at fault for all this stuff instead of going after women of color and women and POCs and all this other stuff. And I'm like, where the fuck have you been? Because that's exactly what we have been doing
Yeah,
for years. We have talked about that because and then listed some examples of videos I straight up did when these things happened. Like when Blizzard shit on Blitzchung because he was for Hong Kong,
yeah. Which that is, by the
and that
way,
was the market Blizzard was currently Activision Blizzard was currently trying to court was the Chinese market, and this guy just won first place in the tournament, got money, all this other stuff, and then they just yanked it from him immediately the second he did his little interview and was like for Hong Kong or whatever it was he said, right? And because I think he was a Hong Kong player, so
yeah,
he's got a vested interest in you know his nation state being a nation state still and not part of China.
yeah,
Um, Blizzard went in, swooped down, and what did we do? We made video after video about how bad Blizzard execs were and everything else like that. When Activision fired all those people after a record year, we yelled at them for that. When Microsoft did it, we yelled at them for that. And I was just like, dude, where the fuck have you been? We've been doing that for years too. As well as the people like Sweet Baby Inc., who actively want to go in and destroy the gaming community.
and we'll say about these people who have their hearts in the right place, maybe not their heads, but
Now we can sit here and talk about how she's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We can extrapolate that from the whole, I don't really like it, they're annoying or whatnot, and claim that she's racist. That's fine. We could talk about that, but the rest of this really pisses me off. The fact that you're just going to poison the well like that.
And he doesn't even have to, because honestly, there's plenty that kind
I
of go.
mean, they're woke. They're going to do enough themselves to make people rage at them.
Yeah.
Between how they how they hire people, the fact that white people annoy them, and it's not that she says that they annoy him. It's just she's annoyed at how prevalent white people are in games, saying there's not enough black centric games, and that's not even really racist, to be totally honest.
No,
it, it,
it's more the interview that I linked to you that kind of
okay.
brings that out.
Okay, but that is always subject to change.
But this,
But this
yeah, this
goes over
isn't.
that article again after that, so this is worthless now.
Yep. Go ahead and.
So let's move on to the next bit. Where we go? We're addressing the recent allegations published on. Oh yeah, that was the forbidden link, by the way.
Yeah.
For those who were curious, and they have decided that they went on to they did the woke thing where how dare you talk about us, and
And it
we're going
wasn't.
to take legal action against you.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm reading the article, and it was a shitty article, but it wasn't unfactual. Like, it just stated things.
To be totally honest, this right here
Yeah.
might, legally speaking, depending on if you can claim that they said this as a statement of fact, that she would alter games
Yeah,
when she didn't
maybe.
say that. I mean, that's the only thing that can come close, to be totally
Yeah.
honest.
And
Um,
you'd be.
if that wasn't there, it would be a better article from there.
Yeah, but bad article, I don't think that would merit legal action just for that
But
sentence.
well, to have it removed, it might.
Maybe.
But yeah, she would then claim she's not interested in race replacing characters, but admitted it works in some ways. What won't change? Blah blah blah. What I want more is stories that are authentic. Um, I don't necessarily have to race bend an existing character for me. That's not, so it works in some ways, and other
Oh,
ways I want some original content. Yeah, they took this bit out right here, and then did this here to imply that she's contradicting what she's saying, and
bit of a stretch.
it's a bit of a stretch. So I'm going to do a thing real quick because you're forcing me to defend these people now. I'm going to bring up a picture, and I want you to tell me who this is.
Okay.
Who is that?
I don't fucking know.
That is Arthur from the Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur,
The fuck?
also known as Saber from the Fate series. It's an anime.
Okay.
When you say things like it works in some ways, this is what what she would be referring to. Nobody has a problem with this at all. Can we? But yeah, this is King Arthur Knights of the Round, and the Fate series essentially, brings these people from past, future, present, and they fight, and they have somebody who orders them around, who summons them, and all this other stuff for a grand prize, yada yada. Anyway,
So
we gender bend in anime a lot when it comes to things. So, seeing King Arthur displayed as a woman, and the story is, she was King Arthur because or she was whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into all that. The point is, we do it.
okay. No, I mean, no,
So,
I agree. Like
you know,
the way it's worded, she's fine. Like, yeah, this
yeah,
article is shitty. And
she's right. It does work in some ways. We're totally okay with that.
here's the thing: she has a very nuanced take, and I respect that. Like, literally, the only
But again, she's
criticism,
also woke.
yeah, the only criticism I have is her. Shut up. Uh, is her hiring practices at her company, and basically the way she carries herself in interviews vocally does not really match the text. So again, when
Yeah,
you do it that way,
I'm working on it. I'm getting there. But we had to address this bit. She's threatening to sue. Anyway, so this apparently is an Asmongold clip.
and by the way, I had to go through Asmongold's clip because uh, I couldn't find the original.
Yeah, Chad
So
was
yeah,
looking for a clip, so
people
this is
posted
what
this.
we've
I never
got to
actually
get to
watched
this clip.
this.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games.
Mm-hmm.
But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me.
I know some people who agree with that. Yeah, I know some people who, yeah.
And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something made okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Isn't this like basically illegal for you to say like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
well, okay.
Now this is somebody from a group called Validate, right? Are they the same thing as?
No, this is.
We just don't hire fucking, like, imagine if somebody goes like, yeah, we just don't hire black people.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
It's just nuts, man.
No, this is from
So yeah, people.
From my understanding, this is from
Okay, this is EA's new Black Panthers game. The lead developer.
Yeah, from my understanding, I thought this was from Black Girl Gamer.
Nope. Maybe
Whoopsie.
she was a part of them at one point, but it would look like this is a different.
People posted this. I never actually watched this.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big.
Yeah, for Validate. What is Validate? To the Google machine.
Well, I saw that it had libs of TikTok right there, so I'm going through libs of TikTok to try and see if I can find it.
EA.
Which didn't post every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. This isn't going to be helpful. It's talking about validation issues. EA Validate. No, Validator. EA validation, EA account, how to fix validating problems. Yeah, then couldn't they use something that's a little bit not used in other things?
Well, then you'd find them.
Yeah, I know. I don't have time to go searching for all that. But yeah, that's EA right there. Yay, EA. I'm waiting for that one developer to say, "Oh yeah, by the way, we don't hire black people due to microaggressions." Fucking racist. Sounds like the KKK over across the hill over there.
Well, see, that's the thing is, so
You gonna finish that thought?
give me a minute.
Give you a minute. Okay,
Hang on.
so anyway, while Chad tries to figure out how to finish that thought, you can always go follow us over on Twitter. Right? Links are in the description down below. He linked me something. What do we got? Let's go look at it. Oh, now this comes up on my other screen like I thought it would. Okay, so let's bring this over real quick. Okay, Libs of TikTok, hockey video game, NHL 24 won't let you use the name Team Trump because it contains profanity. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, hang on a second. Validate game dev team. Validate. Validate. Thanks, Ben.
Oh. What's he got? I didn't see where he put that.
He DM'd it to me here.
Oh. Okay.
It's just the text. So
okay, thank you.
What I'm saying, the reason I linked that to you as far as that original thing with Asmongold, imagine if a white dude said this, or a white anybody said this. This would be freaking riots in the street. There'd be cause for this company to be dismantled from the freaking foundation, ripped out of the ground, dismantled. But
oh shit! Nope, back off of that. That is not what I was looking for.
Did you just pull something bad up?
I almost did.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I was going with that. I actually thought.
Oh no, never mind. No, that's correct. They're making a dating sim. For fuck's sake. I read the top of that, struggling singles in your area, as I clicked on it and backtracked immediately. I was like, oh fuck, no, I don't want that shit on my computer. This is what they're making.
This yeah, I heard about this. It's terrible.
Validate. I heard that was a horrible game.
Yeah.
It was a visual novel about 13 struggling singles navigating the harsh realities of love life, returning the gamut from independent living. Yeah, because apparently they made like one white person in that game or something as a single, and they were very upset that their audience mostly gravitated to pulling that person. I remember the story.
I remember that.
Because they were throwing a hissy fit out of it, and they're like, we've got all these people and they keep gravitating to the white guy, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
We're sexy. What do you want?
I guess.
What that's sexy.
But anyway, yeah, this is not Black Girls Gamer. I'm going to continue with my original point. Their heart's in the right place. I love to see them make original content. I'd like them to set up an indie dev studio in East Africa and actually make some,
for sure,
games in that line of thing.
And avoid these people, whoever these people are, avoid them.
Yeah, and avoid people like Sweet Baby Inc. and the Validate developers and stuff like that. And then make, work on your craft, because if we saw with Forspoken, it needs work.
And work on your PR a little bit.
Yeah, and step back on the PR. Yeah, work on the PR, but step back from things instead of inserting yourself into it. Oh, let's